When news of Diane Keaton's passing broke, the world of cinema stood still. But what truly stunned everyone wasn't just that Hollywood had lost one of its most timeless icons, it was what she left behind. Diane Keaton, at 78, had lived a life filled with laughter, eccentricity, and unmatched grace, but her final act was one that left her family and fans in tears. Inside her Spanish-style Los Angeles home, sunlight filtered through tall arched windows onto the very desk where she had written notes for her last book, and where she had quietly drafted a will that would tell the world exactly who she was when the lights went down for the final time. The fortune she left behind, estimated at over $100 million, wasn't distributed the way anyone expected. When her children, Dexter and Duke, along with her closest friends, gathered in her study to hear her last wishes, there was silence, so heavy it almost felt sacred. Her attorney unfolded the pages slowly, and what followed made everyone's eyes well with tears. Diane had left handwritten letters tucked inside the legal documents, each one personal, tender, and heartbreakingly beautiful. To Dexter she wrote, "You made me brave enough to be a mother, and that courage became my greatest role." To Duke she wrote, "You taught me to laugh when I felt like disappearing." But perhaps most surprising was what she did with the majority of her estate. Instead of keeping it in the family, Diane gave away nearly 60% of her wealth to causes that defined her heart: environmental preservation, art scholarships, mental health initiatives, and women's shelters she had secretly supported for decades. "If I ever leave something behind," one note read, "let it be hope for someone who thought they had none." Her children were reportedly overwhelmed, not out of disappointment, but admiration. As Dexter said through tears, "Mom didn't want monuments, she wanted meaning." Walking through her home after the reading of the will felt like walking through a living memory. The walls were lined with black and white photos of her early days with Al Pacino, her laughter-filled dinners with Goldie Hawn, and quiet moments with her children. On her piano sat a faded photograph from the set of Annie Hall, alongside a yellowing script covered with handwritten notes in her famous, looping penmanship. There was no gold, no diamonds, no lavish hidden treasure, just fragments of a life lived artfully, honestly, and without pretense. Her personal journals, later found in a cedar chest, revealed even more: entries about loneliness, gratitude, and her complicated relationship with fame. One read, "I never wanted to be remembered as beautiful. I wanted to be remembered as curious." Another said, "Money never comforted me. People did." It was in those words that her family realized Diane's true wealth was never in her fortune, but in the love she gave so freely. Among the most emotional discoveries was a voice recording Diane had left behind, her soft, familiar tone filling the room one last time. "If you're hearing this, it means my story has found its ending. Don't be sad for me, celebrate me. Take the love we shared and pass it on." The moment the recording ended, there wasn't a dry eye in the room. Her children hugged each other tightly, whispering that she was still teaching them how to live even after she was gone. Reporters later called it the will that made Hollywood cry, but those closest to her said it was simply the most Diane thing she could have done, turning goodbye into one last act of generosity. Today, as her friends and family continue her charitable work, they say she's still everywhere, in the laughter, in the kindness, and in the quiet beauty she left behind. In the end, Diane Keaton didn't just leave a fortune. She left a legacy of love that no amount of money could ever measure.